Alright guys, what's going on? Alright, for this video I'm going to do something a little bit different. It's kind of going to be a touchy subject, but I think everyone should find it interesting. And I'm going to try to share this video with people who don't normally even watch my videos. So I'm really going to try to put in an effort here and make a good point with this video. It might be a little bit controversial, but that's just the way it is sometimes. So obviously we have the Tiger Woods situation. It's coming out that he had cheated on his wife with several women, several mistresses. There's even been reported that it's up to about 9 or 10 different women that he's officially slept with. So a lot of people used to envision Tiger Woods as this goody two shoes, Mr. Do No Wrong type of guy, but it's finally coming out that he really wasn't that guy. I never really got that impression from Tiger Woods. He always came off a little bit spoiled to me, so this doesn't completely surprise me, especially when you factor in that he's got to travel and be on the road all the time as a professional golfer or whatever. So it doesn't really surprise me that much. But I'm not really here to talk about Tiger Woods. I really want to talk about professional athletes and why they have such a tendency to cheat on their wives and sleep around and be with a lot of women. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. But let me just say this: whenever you get involved into professional sports, I think, or any sports, whether you're playing on the collegiate level or even the high school level or even the AAU level, there's a certain amount of pressure that you have that your coaches demand from you, even your parents or even the fans in the crowd. You're really under a lot of pressure to perform at a certain level, at the level that you're accustomed to performing to. So it is pretty stressful, especially in professional sports where you're getting paid millions of dollars and you have sponsors and everything like that. So the stress level has got to be sky high. And on top of that, to be able to play at that level, you have to do a certain amount of things. You have to sacrifice a lot. You can't eat, anything you want. You have to really be careful about what you eat. So, right there, a lot of people eating whatever they want is one of their vices. So that can't be one of them. You cannot do drugs. There's drug testing, and obviously, if you're going to do drugs, you're going to smoke, or if you're going to, do cocaine or drink a lot, or any type of drugs, it's gonna show in your performance. If you're doing drugs, it's obviously going to show. And it's going to hurt your performance. So obviously, you cannot do any of that, and you have to watch your lifestyle. I mean, you can't really stay out all night and just do whatever the hell you want. So really, the only thing that professional athletes are left as one of their vices, one of the things that we consider a vice is sex. To have sex with good-looking women. And it just happens all the time. We've heard about professional athletes cheating on their wives, and being caught up in certain scandals from time to time, and it's always been that way. So really, why does this happen? I think probably the main reason is, as a professional athlete or any type of athlete, you have to put in a lot of time and a lot of work into your craft, and eventually you want to be compensated. You want to feel some. You just want you want to feel rewarded for the work that you do. So just playing the game and talking to the press, talking in the press conference or at the press conference is not satisfying enough. You have to look for something to relieve stress. And, just exercising and just doing that, or exercising even more, sometimes that's not good enough of a stress reliever. Drugs, alcohol, smoking, eating whatever the hell you want. Sometimes, for some people, that relieves stress. So athletes, the only other thing that they could do to relieve stress is to have sex or have sex with women. Sometimes when they're on the road, the wife is not really even there. So, and then when you factor that in with, Magic Johnson has stated this several times, when they got off the bus on the road, there'd be women at the hotel, like, waiting for them, like dozens, maybe even, sometimes even hundreds of women just there, just to try to get, close to the celebrities, just to try to get close to Magic, probably Jordan, any of these sports figures. They just have the desire to try to want to get with them. So, as a professional athlete being stressed out and everything like that, and you see the opportunity there, sometimes it's very difficult to turn it down, especially when you're on the road, you're lonely, and you feel like you put in a lot of work and you're stressed, it's very easy just to go for it and just do it. So I think that's one of the main problems. Um, you know, it's just very demanding. The sports, playing sports, as much as it is fun, it could get very, you can have some really bad days, and sometimes things get very stale, and sometimes you're just looking to do something else. So I think that's just one of the reasons why it happens. But is it really? Am I saying that it's right to do this? No, it's not. You definitely have to be strong and just resist it and do whatever you can to just keep yourself, occupied and away from all the negative stuff with women trying to throw themselves at you. It's very tough to do, especially when you don't have anyone with you. Um, but you just have to keep yourself busy. Whether it's a lot of times it's peer pressure. If you're hanging out with your buddies and they're doing the same thing, you're going to want to do the same thing as well. And I can imagine golf is the type of sport where you're pretty lonely. I'm sure Tiger doesn't try to, I'm sure he doesn't try to mingle with all the other golfers and stay out with their wives or whatever. So maybe when his wife isn't there, who knows what's going to happen. So it's a very touchy subject. And but I think that the key is, as a professional athlete, you just have to fight it off. And maybe the answer is just to bring your wife on the road. I know a lot of NBA players were always skeptical when they went out to LA because LA was really bad. So they wanted to make sure, the wives wanted to make sure they were with them so they wouldn't cheat on them. So it's just a lifestyle. Anytime you're traveling and you're seeing the world and you're by yourself and you're lonely, it's just something that's going to happen. Women are going to throw themselves at celebrities, and it's just very hard to resist the temptation. Um, I don't think cheating is right, but eventually, there's two. I think there's two sides to everyone. There's a side to you that wants to do the right thing, that wants to be loyal, and you want to do the right thing for your wife because you do love your wife. But then there's another side. There's two different sides. The other side is like, let me just live in the moment. You only get to live once. I'm stressed out. I need to relieve some stress. Let me just do it. This girl looks really good. She's throwing herself at me. I just can't resist it. My sexual drive is just too high. On top of that, I can't do anything else. I can't go out and have a good time. I can't do drugs. I can't smoke. I can't really do anything else to relieve stress. So why not just do it? So basically, I think the bottom line is just for everyone. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the answer is to turn to religion, or maybe it's just to, you know, I mean, you can't focus on the game 24 hours a day. I think athletes would just drive themselves crazy if they did that. So I don't know. Maybe they need to think of an alternative, you know, just to keep themselves busy or something like that. It's very difficult to do, but that's probably what needs to be done. And not everyone, and like Tiger Woods has gotten, unfortunately for him, he's kind of taken a lot of shots in the last couple of weeks. But it's not just him, though. This has been going on for a long time. Magic Johnson has stated that Magic didn't necessarily cheat on his wife, but he was with several women, you know, before he got married. Thousands of women. Same thing with Wilt Chamberlain. Same thing with Michael Jordan, who even cheated on his wife. So it's definitely there. It's like sex with women is really the only thing professional athletes really can do that really won't hamper or hurt them in their professional field. It's really the only thing. Women do weaken knees, but as long as you have sex sporadically from time to time, it's really not going to hurt your performance the same way drugs, alcohol, and eating bad would do. You can't just eat anything you want. So yeah, there's a lot of things you have to sacrifice as a professional athlete. Fortunately, sex is not one of them. But sex can be classified as the one vice that professional athletes do end up doing, and it's always going to be that way. But I think women need to look at the big picture before you marry a professional athlete. You got to think about the long-term consequences. And the answer, I definitely think the answer is to travel with them on the road, but it's tough to do that when you're raising two kids. So it's a tough predicament. But I'm saying my message for doing this video is this: let's not just jump all over Tiger Woods or Magic Johnson or anyone that has cheated on their wife that's a professional athlete. It's I think there's two sides to every story. You have to look at the other side of it. Is it the right thing to do? No. But that lifestyle is just very tough to live, and not everyone can live it. So that's my point. That's what I wanted to get across. Hopefully this video will go over well. I'm not sure, but let me know what you think. You got anything you want to type in, anything you want to tell me, just let me know. All right.